Okay, so in just 1 year, Chase UK have attracted over 1 million customers. And those customers hold an average of £27,000 in their Chase Saver accounts. As a result, Chase now has over £10 billion in customer deposits. That's $1 billion more than Starling, who were founded back in 2015. So when it comes to the battle of the savings, which I'll go into more detail on shortly, Chase is clearly winning. But what about everything else, like international banking or customer service? Is Chase beating Starling, or is Starling stifling Chase? While they both offer a MasterCard debit card that you can spend and withdraw money with, Chase doesn't offer overdrafts, joint accounts, virtual cards, and cash or check deposits. Now, I appreciate some of you might not be fussed about any of this, but I can't be the only one still getting Christmas checks from my parents. Chase also has a transfer limit of £25,000 per day. And this is worth noting if you're drawn to this account as a temporary savings tool, because eventually when you come to withdraw the money, it might take you a few days. So when it comes to everyday banking, Starling is superior, but that's not to say Chase in the future won't add features like overdrafts or even credit cards. They said themselves that over time they're looking to introduce more banking products in the UK.
We do not offer credit at the moment, though that's our plan in the medium term.
And given that JP Morgan, who owns Chase, are forecasting to lose $500 million on digital banking, I think it's likely they'll be looking for ways to recuperate their investment. With international spending and ATM withdrawals, both are relatively equal and compared to the rest of the industry, really bloody good. Neither Chase nor Starling charge you to spend money internationally, and they both use MasterCard's exchange rates, which are more or less on par with the real mid-market rate. You can also withdraw money internationally for free, although Chase is limited to £500 per day and £1,500 per month. For sending money internationally, Starling is really competitive. They use the mid-market rate, which is the one you'll see on Monito.com, and they add a 0.4% conversion fee. As far as I can tell, they have 18 currencies that you can send internationally, and Chase has none, as you can't make international transfers. And Starling also offers EUR account details, so obviously they have more features, although it's likely for the majority of us that both accounts are going to be great. I mean, if you're going to send money internationally, like I always recommend, you should check Monito.com before, as it's possible there's another provider that's not Starling that's cheaper. But unless you're drawn to the greater ATM withdrawals or the EUR account details that Starling offers, it doesn't really matter who you choose. Ultimately, you'll get great exchange rates and fee-free withdrawals and spending with both accounts. Chase UK offers 1% cashback on pretty much all purchases for your first year, 5% interest on roundups, and has a 2.1% easy access savings account. With that account, you can earn interest up to £250,000 and withdraw your money at any time. This is a good easy access account, although as a side note, if you're in the market for an easy access saver, then Tandem currently has a 2.55% available that's up to 250k. Starling account holders can earn 0.05% on all balances, and that includes any money deposited through roundups or manually into a Starling savings space. Chase doesn't have savings pots or spaces, but if you do choose to round up, that's deposited into a separate account that earns 5%. While Starling doesn't have their own cashback, you can get it through an integration with Tail. It's quite easy to set up, although it doesn't look very good. There is a limited number of brands on the app, and I also read a lot of reviews complaining about the lack of coverage across the UK. Starling also has an integration with Wealthify that gives you access to some savings products such as ISAs and pensions, as well as investments. But I think it's safe to say that Chase is the clear winner here. So you can contact both banks in-app via chat, and they also have phone support. Although Chase allows you to call in-app for free, while Starling doesn't seem to advertise their telephone number, I actually had to Google it. It does work though, and I actually called both numbers to see who answered the fastest. Okay, so it's 1 PM on Wednesday the 14th of December, and it's probably the busiest period of the day for banks and their call centers, so I thought we could call Chase and Starling to see how long it takes them to answer.
Good afternoon, you're through to Chase Bank. Today talking with Jonathan. Can I just start by asking for your name?
Oh, sorry, I think I called the wrong number. I'm sorry, Jonathan.
No worries. I thought you have a great day, Jonathan.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye. Okay, well that took less than 30 seconds.
Welcome to Starling Bank.
I think I prefer their wait music.
Welcome to Starling Bank.
Bank. You're through to Isaac. How is that going to help you today?
Sorry, Isaac. I think I called the wrong number.
Oh, are you trying to get through to Starling Bank?
No.
Oh,
No.
This is Starling Bank, I'm afraid.
Oh, sorry, mate. I was trying to get the Starling Birdwatchers Society. I'm sorry.
No worries at all. Well, I hope you have a nice day now.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
That only took 30 seconds as well, so they're tied equal. And at the possibly busiest time of the day. Maybe I got that completely wrong though. Now on Trustpilot, Starling has a 4.3 and Chase has a 4. Starling has also been awarded a customer score of 90% by Which. This is basically a rating that asks actual customers what they think and whether they'd recommend them. Chase, for the same criteria, scored an 85%. For context, that's between First Direct and Monzo. So they're pretty equal, and in the interest of fairness, I'm going to give this one as a draw. I feel they're both doing a really good job when it comes to looking after their customers, especially compared to the rest of the industry. Both apps are very different in terms of their layouts and design. The Chase app is really simplistic, well laid out, and therefore easy to navigate. From a design perspective, I mean, obviously this is entirely subjective, but I would say Starling has the nicer looking app. And even though it's packed with more features, it is still easy to navigate and find what you're looking for. In terms of spending analytics, both categorize and give you the option to view by merchant, which means you can see how much money you're spending with a particular business. The Chase app also does a really good job of separating and displaying any money you've earned through Cashback all in a rewards section. You can then transfer that money into your main account or savings account whenever you're ready. Now, as I've already mentioned, Starling has many more features, and one of those is the ability to send payments to people nearby with a Starling account. Beyond that, they also have a bills manager, they've got Starling subscriptions and connected cards. This feature allows you to request a new debit card from Starling that's connected to your account or saving space. The card is capped at £200, and you can then just give it to someone to spend freely. So that could be really useful if you have kids or perhaps someone that works for you. With all of these extra features and the fact that, well, at least in my opinion, that the app has a better design, I'm going to give this category to Starling. I Googled what is ethical banking, and apparently it's ensuring that your money is invested in socially and morally positive ways that won't be of detriment to society. But how do you define the word detrimental? Ultimately, I think it comes down to your values and beliefs. I can't tell you what's ethical or not, and you have to make that decision. Instead, I'll just share with you how it is for these two banks at face value, and obviously with a pinch of salt. Starling has an ethics statement which says they don't invest in arms manufacturers or tobacco companies, and I was also able to find this quote that says they don't invest in fossil fuels. JP Chase has an environmental and social policy framework that has a section on climate change, and while they admit and obviously invest in companies producing fossil fuels, they also state that they're expanding their financing into renewables. They also say that they will not provide lending to clients getting the majority of their revenues from extraction of coal. While this is somewhat positive, they are still one of the world's biggest contributors to fossil fuel financing, but I'll leave it up to you to think or decide whether that's unethical or not. Obviously, I have a Chase account, but that doesn't mean I don't want the world to eventually move away from fossil fuels. But I also see this account as a great opportunity to make some money from Chase. I mean, I'm earning great cashback. Although once the cashback ends after a year, I'll likely withdraw my money and stop using the account. And of course, I'll continue to use my Starling account because I think it's great. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't be afraid to drop me a comment if you have any questions or thoughts, as I'd love to speak to you. And if you want to open an account with either Starling or Chase, please use the links in the description box. Please also consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.